Hey everyone, Frank Coble here. Another great video for you. Going to be drawing out ideas. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. So I want to be able to draw out ideas that will be memorable, simple and memorable for you. And this is going to be part of a daily devotional I'm working on. So I hope you guys like this adventure. Enjoy it. Hope you learn something new. And it's mind expanding for you. And we'll see you on the video. Okay, I started this video earlier and I wanted to come in and clean this up a little bit. This was based on Dr. Caroline Leaf. She's a brain doctor, and she was talking about how your brain can grow. How we're not stuck with just the brain we have, but it can grow like neurons that grow brain, these dendrites, and that we can train our mind to grow our brain. Like say you have an exam coming up where you have finals. It's good to learn how to pace yourself. Anyway, I did this with pen and ink, but what I'm going to do is add in some white now because I kind of got a little bit messy in here. So I'm going to kind of try and clean this up a little bit so it looks a little like not so scraggly. Anyways, here I'll go back through this again, just kind of a recap a little bit. But like good ways to build up your brain is like brain exercises, like mental ping pong, like even playing the game ping pong. There's a brain doctor named Dr. Amen who talks about ping pong. He loves to play ping pong. Just things that keep your brain sharp. Word challenges, like Scrabble, words with friends, all these kind of things. And there's just some really interesting findings on the brain out there that women have these Y and X chromosomes and men have X and X chromosomes, how it makes it so that for some reason women are better verbally and men are better with spatial, like distances and things like that. And men even have a stronger, or I should say women have a stronger sense of smell. And this kind of goes back to like the caveman diet stuff, that men don't smell so strong because if they're dealing with like carcasses from animals, like they go out and kill the animals, and then women have a stronger sense of smell because they're cooking a lot. And just another note, yeah, that's why guys, make sure you wear some kind of antiperspirant or underarm deodorant. Women pick up on smell a lot quicker than guys do. And it's a little side note there. You single guys out there, what do I know? So anyway, I'm just kind of finishing this off, trying to add a little bit more color in here. It's good to have for like when you're doing illustrations to have a long, strong line, sets of line here, and shadow, because when you, and just keep it clean, like because a lot of times it depends on what kind of printer you're using. It doesn't, a lot of them don't show very much mercy. Like if you have a flaw, it'll really show up in your painting or drawing. Another thing, It's good to use different photographs. I'm looking at a photograph right now of a tree, but just try and get some delicate lines. Don't just scrabble around. Mental ping pong, brain. Another thing I like is, this one instructor told me, is make sure your painting isn't spotty, where you have just this spottiness everywhere. It actually kind of makes sense. Your eyes not going all over the place. This is kind of medicinal, isn't it? It kind of reminds me of, here, this thing, ASMR, I think it's called, about kind of getting a hypnotic kind of feel off of something you're looking at, or just some noise. But art definitely is very hypnotic. Kind of, it's a beautiful thing. I don't want to make it too busy here. Sometimes you have to know when to quit too on a painting. No, stop! You see someone working on something. And here I'm just kind of indicating the roots. Try and copy, like I said, a delicate line here. And just slowly, you gotta take your time. You have to really be patient. One thing about anything you learn, is just a sense of patience. Some people are really good auto mechanics. It's usually because they have a patience for it. So with art, it's kind of the same thing. You have to just develop a patience for the way things are going and try and not hurry through it. Just trying to make all your brushwork count. All your brushwork. Don't just slop and paint all over the place. And if you have a little accident, try and find a way to make it work, where it looks like it wasn't. It's like part of the painting. Somehow I want to add something else in here, it's a little bit of brushwork with kind of whimsicalness to it. This looks kind of, it just kind of looks a little bit stark here. I'll add some, try and get some more color in here a little bit. La-di-da. Kind of like, it's nice just to kind of think about just humming to yourself. Whistle while you work. One thing I saw that really helps, it just echoes itself in so many ways, is contrast. Like you create contrast with so many things. And we're just indicating kind of some flowers here. It's just this watercolor. If I was using something else, like maybe I'll use a different, like a gouache or something on this. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to clean up all this in here. Got kind of a mess going in here. Some of these words didn't kind of come out the way I wanted to. Trying to figure out a way to make them stand out. Let's see if I can grab a pen here real quick. Gotta let that dry for a second. Okay, I'm just going to try and clean up this type a little bit, just so it's a little bit more legible here. Brain. Yeah, I'm not the biggest lettering guy. I do love letters. I love the way, I love words. Like words is like learning to, I talked about it in another episode. It's like being a safe cracker. When you have a problem, you're trying to write out something, and you're just really trying to write it out to be a real legible sentence. It's almost like being a safecracker, where you're just like finding the right words, go back and forth, and you find these different words that fit together just right. Flow's good, and it's like, yeah, it's like being you open the safe, and you have a thought that might help somebody. I know people struggle with finances, but Robert Kiyosaki said, if you're worried about your money, just find a way to help people. The more you give away to other people, the more chances are it's going to come back to you. Just saw this thing called The Alchemist, and kind of alluded to a similar thing. Word. Challenges. I like, there's a game called Boggle. It's really fun. I know some people play stuff online. Words with Friends. Scrabble. I think with the whole thing with Facebook and texting, everyone's becoming more and more literate, or more and more expressive, and that's a good thing. We had the Age of Enlightenment back when the printing press was made. More and more people were able to read and communicate their ideas. But now with the internet and computers, we can really, really communicate so much more vastly. It's just a phenomenal upgrade. It's like the Age of Enlightenment on steroids. Anything you want to learn, it's out there. So this is kind of a pen and ink technique. I did it first I drew out part, but now sometimes you can do the art or the watercolor first and then just add the line afterwards. One thing my teacher always taught me is try and make the bottom of the letters even. It's the most important thing. Anyway, mind over matter. This is part of another series that I'm doing, so I hope you can hang with me on this. About training your brain. You know, your brain is an amazing tool. You know, you can use it to, give it assignments. If you have a problem, you just ask your brain questions, and try and come up with solutions for things. What would make this go over the top? I'm thinking maybe a little cat drawing or something. I'll hold off on the cat drawing right now, though. Let's continue with what I got here. Try and make all your brush work and pen work count. So you're not just like scribbling, you're just contouring, you're following the contours, or creating these contours that make sense to make it a beautiful drawing. Like I said, you want to avoid spottiness where there's spots that don't need to be there. So just to recap, just really basically, we just learned to grow our brain, give your brain assignments. Like you're in college, you learn new skills. I used to do these 3x5 cards to memorize things. Like when I was in a biology class, I'd learn all these different words, and then I was in geography. But I'd do these 3x5 cards, and the ones I get right, you'd have a word on one side, and then you'd have what it is on the other side. The ones I get right, I'd put on the right side. The ones I get wrong, I put them on the left side. And the ones automatically you just throw them on the right side. And then the ones that you have a hard time with, put them on the left side, and then just keep going through it till the ones on the left side aren't there anymore. Grow your brain. Trying to think what I could do to finish this off. Somehow, something here. Like a cat or a dog down here trying to climb the tree. But no one can interrupt. People can't take away what's in your brain. They can take away your money. They can take away other stuff. But they can't take away your brain. Think about it. It's really profound. Little pearl of wisdom here. Yeah, let's see. If anyone want to comment on this, please do. I'm trying to think what I can put down here. If anyone has any ideas, I was thinking like a dog or cat. Something down here wanting to get up here, but it's not able to because no one can take away what's in your brain. Mind over matter. Might have to do a part 3 on this if we can figure out what down below. But anyway, guys, hope you guys like this and subscribe and pass this along. This is a really popular way to do illustration, is kind of a pen and watercolor. And you want to make sure you use pens that won't run when you put a wash over the top of it. I might have to clean this up when I take it into... Excuse me. You know what? I do have to do one more thing, though, before I close up. But this will be a good place to stop. Let me go into create a brown here. I have hardly any brown in here. Yeah, here we go. Here's a nice... Needed something in here. Yeah, now we're going. Now we're cooking. It's amazing how your brain echoes. You know, so many things are echoed in nature that are like in the Bible, and just, you know, that Psalms talk about being like a tree planted next to the river, that we grow like a tree, and our brains are like a tree, just keep growing like this orchard of ideas. And it's kind of fun reading these other some really great minds on YouTube. What I'm thinking about, Getting Things Done, Alan, oh gosh. But he says, you know, your brain was not meant to hold ideas. Get your ideas out on paper, your to-do list, your calendar, and get 100% of your calendar out on paper. Don't just do 90%, but everything. Get a calendar for your plans. And so that way you're not just kind of have something in the back of your head. Is something coming up, a birthday or doctor's appointment? No, everything goes in your planner. So that way you're not... And this same thing for like working out and other things. And just things that are a priority in your life. Anyway, hope you guys like that. We'll talk to you in the next video.